Good morning or good afternoon. My name is David Loomis, and today I'm going to be giving my report on anxiety. It's something that I do personally struggle with, and it's something that I've been having to deal with for my entire life. Anxiety is something that can be diagnosed whether by a family practitioner doctor or a psychologist. Most of the time, a family practitioner is someone who would refer you to a psychologist once you take certain tests. So, with that, there are tests that you can take. Um, my doctor, they did blood workup. I think they did the urine, and that was just to see if any medications might be causing any side effects, which they weren't because at the time I was too young to really be on any medications that could cause these symptoms or these feelings that I was having. Um, After that, my doctor gave me like a bunch of tasks to do in his office, and he gave me like a certain amount of time to complete them. And I remember becoming so overwhelmed just thinking about that because I knew that there was so much to get done in so little time. And it just from the moment we had that conversation, it stressed me out already. So from the beginning, he already kind of knew, yeah, you are struggling with anxiety, and it sounds like you may just be one of the forms of anxiety, which he told me was generalized anxiety disorder, which is apparently very common. There's lots of different types of symptoms and different types of anxieties. There's OCD, there's social anxiety, there's panic disorders, there's PTSD. All of these are from the root cause of anxiety. And even depression can cause, or anxiety can lead to depression because with all these overwhelming feelings and thoughts, it can lead to feeling hopeless or even just like you can't accomplish anything. And there are a lot of signs that can be seen in someone who struggles with anxiety. I mean, I think my parents always kind of knew, and I mean, I didn't, but I remember telling them all the time that it's just hard to focus, or I can't keep my thoughts on one direct path. I feel like I'm constantly wandering, and my mind is just bouncing off the walls, and it won't even. There's no real root cause. It's just from sitting there, and I think about one thing, and then my mind starts to race into a whole other different type of field of who knows what. And I never knew what that was. I thought that was just me, like doing what I do. But it started to become overwhelming, and I started to show my teacher. Well, my teacher started to see these signs where I was starting to become so overwhelmed where I would have to just shut down, where I would kind of just sit and not do anything, and I would. She said I shaked, but I don't know if I did. But I'd just become so overwhelmed, and then I would start to bite my hands, or I'd bite something. I always had to bite something. And there are so many different signs and symptoms, so many different ways that we can see that someone is struggling from anxiety. It's such a common thing that people just kind of don't really know how to deal with it because it's not easy to handle because it is a very much a personal battle. I would say it's something that someone has to handle. There are ways that, I mean, doctors can help by prescribing different medications, but those just, in my personal opinion, they're very numb and dull. They made me just kind of feel empty, and I didn't like that feeling. I didn't feel like I was me. And so my doctor ended up taking me off the medications, and he decided to just teach me to take one step at a time. Instead of constantly feeling like I was in a rush or I had to complete something within a couple minutes, he said, you know what? I'm going to give you homework for you to just take at home, and you're just going to do one thing at a time. He's like, do one paper a day. And that really helped me kind of just really break down where my anxiety is coming from and kind of helped me control it. And that doesn't work for everybody. There are so many different signs, there's so many different symptoms, and just within this course alone, by taking it, I was able to learn a lot more anxiety and depression and how they connect and how they are together. Because when I was going through some hard times, I would go into major depressing phases. And it's just because I become so overwhelmed that I would start to think I wasn't good enough. And I would have to either have someone talk me out of it or hope that someone was there for me, or I'd have to find a way to get through it. And it's really hard to deal with anxiety, but it's something I will deal with for the rest of my life. It's never going to go away. I don't think there's a cure. I don't think there's an end to someone who's diagnosed with anxiety. You just have to know to be patient with those people and really understand that they are going through a lot and that their minds may be thinking like me in 100 different directions, and you just have to be generous and kind. And I think that's something I've learned from this course is that we're all different. We all go through different things. We all have different symptoms, and it's important for us to learn and to study those symptoms so that we, as healthcare professionals, with this course and going to healthcare administration, we are going to be the people that employees go to, and we have to know how to help them. We can't just send them on their way. We have to know how to treat and guide them back onto a path where they can be an effective employee and just feel heard. And I think that's important. So I'm grateful for this course. I'm grateful for psychology. I've always loved it. And I just think that that's an important role, is to connect psychology into everything you do in your life, no matter what it is. And with that, I guess I'll end and just continue to say how grateful I am. And I hope that I can continue to learn more. Thank you.